Huh? Close Encounters.
Close Encounters, the film.
Oh, I never saw it.
Well, forget that film. We're on about our film. Time Bandits.
Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno as we bring you the film that's intellectual enough for children and exciting enough for adults as Terry Gilliam's glorious Time Bandits comes out on a re-release. Terry, here we are. We've got one of the lines from the film, I remember, is we're at the age of a new technological...
Oh,
yeah, and here we are now with Time Bandits in 2K. What's that like?
Well, it's just the same old film. We've tidied it up. Actually, I was able to do a few little technical things, but it's the same film that charmed a generation years ago, and many since, and soon future generations.
Was it important to you to have a lot of hands-on with regards to the process?
Yeah, I mean, anything that goes out that I've put my name on, I keep my nose in, basically, because so many things can go wrong. But in this instance, it was in good hands, and I didn't have much to do. I just had to say yes, thank you.
Was it interesting revisiting the film when we see the effects that we can see in films these days, what you had to do, which would have been practical then? So do you see a big achievement with what you did back then?
I just think it's nice working with the kind of limitations of reality, even when you're doing fantasy. When you're into a CG world, everything is possible. And we keep seeing that everything is being done and it doesn't really matter. There's something about working with real things. Gravity involves itself. Things become more difficult, but there's a kind of handmade craftsmanship about it.
And you're known for your attention to detail, and now seeing it in 2K, are you able to see things that you could never see before with film?
There's always a tricky thing that happens with film, because when you shoot on film, there's the negative, and what people see in the cinema is a print, and not a print from the negative. They see a print, there's another generation between. So a lot of detail disappears, and that's what I'm happy to show the audience. And sometimes when you go in 2K HD, you suddenly pick up a lot of things you don't want to see. So luckily I'm going through and making sure you don't see the things that I don't want you to see.
I was going to say that must be a big concern because of the rudimentary techniques that you would have had back then to do, specifically with the effects. It does bring it to the forefront, surely, when you're bringing something into high definition.
But it's like when we did the high-def version of Brazil a few years ago. The little flying man, suddenly you could see all the wires on him, because we're going back to the negative. In fact, Michael Powell's Thief of Baghdad, which is one of my favorite films of all time, the flying carpet, the studio put out a version going straight back to the negative without Michael Powell's involvement, and the flying carpet has got about 25 wires holding it up, and the illusion is ruined. And you're involved with people in studios who don't understand the technical aspect of filmmaking and say it was on the negative, so that must be what the director wanted. No, what we wanted was on the print, not on the negative.
And revisiting the story, I mean, everything, even though you've got the effects and now it's all in glorious high definition, the story is still at the heart, isn't it? A good story that people want to see.
But that's the key always. I mean, it's the characters, the story, the ideas. The fact we can make it look pretty and make it exciting, that's fine. But that's what counts, and that hasn't improved at all. It's just as bad as it was 30 years ago. Terrible performances, awful story. It's just a disaster.
Time Bandits is an awfully good film. We have worked ever so hard on it. It's a tremendous adventure story. We like it, and we're pretty sure you will. What's wrong with it? It's direct, punchy, honest.
Honest. Honest. Modest. What's that got to do with it?